Welcome to the Art of Grace podcast, where God is creating a better you. This is your number one Grace girl, Farra. This is season 2, episode 1. Today's episode, I will be sharing about renewing your mind for 2024. Let's listen in. Hey, it's your number one Grace girl, Farra, coming to you with season 2 of Art of Grace. I am so excited to be back and talking to you all. Man, oh man, it feels like it's been forever since I've recorded. I wanted to get that push, and I did not want January to go all the way through without me giving you guys a quick hello, a quick I love you. I thank you for those who've been reaching out to me and asking me, when are you recording another episode? And I'm like, listen, I'm going to get it in before the end of January. And I'm like right there at the finish line of January. I've had a lot going on, but I did not want to let this month slip away from me without blessing you guys with something to just share with you what the Lord has been doing in my life this January 2024. Can you believe it's here, that 2023 is over that fast? I mean, it just flew by. Who's believing for an amazing 2024? I know that I am. All right, so if you're with me, I'm with you too. I got some good things to share today. Again, Happy New Year. I wanted to talk about something that I have been kind of working on since the end of December. You know, we talk about, New Year's resolutions, and I decided this year that I am not going to call what I'm walking into this year a resolution. I decided to call this a happy renew year. I decided to renew my mind even before the new year came in, and I have been steadfast in that. And I just want to share with you guys some things that, I've been doing and that the Lord is doing, and that, some things I'll be praying for you to do as well, because it's been such a blessing. So, I'm not going to call, this new year, and I didn't decide to do a New Year's resolution. I decided to do a New Year's renewing. Last week I had an opportunity to attend a women's networking event. Thank you so much, Dr. Harriet Roberson, for inviting me. And it was so amazing. I met so many amazing women who are in business, entrepreneurs, women in ministry. It was just a true blessing. But there was one woman there in particular. She was a presenter, a sweetheart named Nika Allen of 5-Star Friendships. And she talked about how studies show that, people who make resolutions, typically those resolutions only make it to 19 days. And I thought it was so ironic because the day that I was at the event was January the 19th, so I just started, thinking to myself, wow, what if I had made a resolution? Today's the 19th and, I am like fed up with it. And, so I'm so happy that I decided to, this year not to do a resolution, but to do a renewing of my mind. I purposed in my mind and heart that I was not going to wait until the clock struck midnight on 2023 to move forward with what I wanted to do, for this year. I decided to just start praying and start moving, moving by faith in some of the things that I wanted to accomplish this year. Just to be transparent, my 2023 ended so sucky. I just felt like I should have been so happy, and there was areas that I was not content in, that maybe I should have been content in. And I finally just took my Christmas time off from work. I had a nice time being off for the holidays, for Christmas and for New Year's, a lot of days, but I decided to make it purposeful. I decided to just listen, to just try and hear the voice of the Lord at that time, because I feel like I was getting in the way, of myself, towards the end of the year, just getting in the way of, things I wanted to accomplish. And finally, when I got still, and I think that a big reason why I got still, for all of my Floridian friends, you know that it's gotten a little chilly here. Not what we're used to, not like it was when I lived up north, like, 20 and 30 and 40 degrees. But to us, 50 degrees is freezing. And so that kept me inside. And with that keeping me inside, and, it just gave me an opportunity just to be still and to listen, to just really, really listen. And, I just decided to purpose in my heart that I wanted to accomplish some things this year. Romans 12 says, therefore, I urge you, brothers, in view of God's mercy, to offer your bodies as living sacrifices, holy and pleasing to God. This is your spiritual act of worship. Do not conform any longer to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And I thought about that. I thought about all the things that I had decided last year. I was looking at my vision board from last year to see how many things I got accomplished on that board. And I got a good amount of things accomplished on that board. But I said, what if I would have renewed my mind? I really believe that it starts in your mind, it works its way to your heart, and then it just comes out as an expression, and it just solidifies you, when you get renewed. And when you're getting renewed, that means that not only that you're putting away old things, you're trying to start something new, but it's an ever moving thing. It's not something that it's like, I'm going to get renewed today and I don't need to be renewed next year. I feel like, I love how God does seasons in our life, and how, he gives us an opportunity to, get renewed and refreshed again. It's going to be an over and over and over again thing. I just want to encourage you in that, because, it's just like your house being cluttered and you decide, I'm going to clean out the garage. I'm going to clean out my closet or my bedroom. Doesn't it come back around again where the clutter and stuff comes back again? And you're like, why? Because I feel like God has made us that way, that he wants to be there in that constant change. We're not the same people that we were yesterday, let alone last week, let alone last year. And so we always need to be renewed and refreshed. Because, life, bogs us down, for a lot of us who are at work, we're doing things, we're moms, we're entrepreneurs, we're ministers, we give ourselves, to so many different areas. And with that, you're going to get tired. You're going to get weighed down. You might frustrate yourself. Someone else might frustrate you. So in that, there's going to be a constant renewing. Renewing defined to make like new, restore to freshen, vigor or perfection, or to regenerate. I feel like we do this on a daily, right? We get up, we get ready for the day, and we're getting renewed every single day. It's an everyday thing. It's not just, I'm going to wait till January 1st to change this. I'm going to wait till my birthday. I'm going to wait till this birthday the next year. No, this is an everyday thing that we have to do. All right. So like I was sharing, that I didn't wait until the clock struck midnight on 2023. I decided to start making some changes, probably a few weeks into December. And I said, you know what, I want to really see something change in my life, but I want to see it start to happen now. And it has to happen here, it has to happen here, and it has to, that I feel like, when you're changing something, when you change your mind, it's hard for anybody to get me to change my mind when I have a stance of something. The only, I get in my own way. I'm a creature of habit. I'm independent. And, so with that, sometimes it's hard to make changes, but change is good. Change is good. Change is the beginning of growth. It really, really is. I decided to become intentional. That was one of my words from my vision board from last year. And this year I was believing for better health, better friendships, better relationships. And I started to think about it. I was like, you know what? I need to put God in the center of this. He has to be a part of this, because this is his word. This is what he wants me to do. And so that's where you have to start at. You have to start out with him, and I did, so I gave my thoughts to God. I started letting go of my own thoughts, of my own ideals, of what that's what we always say, I, this is what I want. What about what he wants for us? It's good to, he sees that we have the desires of our hearts, and he's in that, but it can't be I, it has to, we have to look up to see, what he's doing and what he wants for us. And, that's what I decided to do. I took one step, and God started taking 10 steps for me, and that's what he does. It's hard. It's hard to make a change. It's hard to break habits. It's hard to be consistent, because, when you renew your mind, you're deciding, I'm going to be consistent in an area. We just can't overwhelm ourselves with too many things. I love vision boards, which I think is great, But, when we start to put 20 and 30 and 40 things on it, we have to be realistic on, some things that we want to change and we want God to work on in our life, because then we're going to get disappointed when we don't see those things done. So don't start with this laundry list of like 50 things that you want to do this year, or, 100 things, yeah. Maybe you can make that list, but be realistic and, maybe cross off some of those things that you're like, okay, are you even ready for that? I love that I decided to renew my mind, but I decided to, take baby steps in it. I think I made a list of like maybe 3 things that I wanted to accomplish for this year. And it's so crazy because literally, I feel like I'm only a couple of weeks in, and it's like been like 15 things that I've been, being asked to be a part of, or or go places and things that I didn't even think was going to be a part of this journey for my 2024. But it's been a blessing. It's been so amazing. January has been a month of miracles. I feel like I've seen things being established, not only for myself but around me, my friends, my church, different groups that I've met, different people, different things that I want to do. And so I feel like some of the things that, I was getting in my way, my brain was a little foggy, but, when I got some more clarity, I started seeing more things. And in that, I've been seeing some amazing things, and, when the thing about renewing your mind is that it's not only wanting to change something and wanting to get more, but it's also the letting go of those former things. We got to let go of those former things. I was not going to be dragging in an old dead body from 2023 into my 2024, let alone how many of us are deciding to renew our minds and we haven't even let go of things from our childhood. We haven't even let go of things from 2022, 2021, 2020. And I tell you, God is actually speaking to me right now, in that, because there's some things that I even had to let go of from just even a few years ago, and I'm making a conscious decision to do that so that I can be healthy. One of the things that once I reset my mind and and decided to renew my mind is I wanted to reset my health journey, and so that's something that I've been working on the past couple of weeks. I feel good. I've been sleeping good. I've been eating better. I've been getting out and exercising, which I love to do those things. And but in that, that's been one of the things that God has definitely has helped me with. And he has removed some toxic and negative people out of my way, which has then made way for so many more friends that I've met just this month. I mean, I've met some amazing people online and in person. And, when you decide to just clear out and, get rid of, speaking of get rid of, how about ladies, we get rid of some of that stuff in our closet, and, make room for other things, make room for maybe a prayer room, I don't know, a little library, a paint room, we have to start getting rid of stuff, getting rid of, there's going to be memories. Maybe it might be an area of forgiveness that we need. But, we got to get rid of the clutter. We really have to in order to be able to share and, and then to attract something new, Let's see what else he's been doing. He's reconnected me with some of my old friends. I want to say hi to my friend Teresa, my friend Marie. I work, as an administrator, a manager, and I'm always on the phone. So when I get home at night, I don't want to talk on the phone, but he has opened up my time and my energy to be able to talk to my friends, and in that, this past 2 weeks, just, being reminded, just talking to one of my friends the other day, we were just sharing with each other. And I just was reminded of how many affirmations I used to do with this person, positive affirmations. And, God brought that to my memory just by having that time on the phone with her. And then my other sister friend, talking about worship, and we just were in a place of worship. And then God started unfolding all these new songs. And so, when we decide to get renewed and our mind is clear, our heart is clear, it just gives us the opportunity to be able to open up and to be fed, to be poured into, for us to pour into other people. And that's been so amazing. He's also placed me around people that are inspiring, encouraging, influential, inspirational. And, it's just been so sweet. I've been having meaningful conversations with people, friends. It's nice to have meaningful conversations, but the conversations are not just negative. It's not just something that's you're not being empowered, or you're not, sharing and giving a back and forth. I mean, I shared time with some friends last night, and laughter, just making room for laughter in your life. How many of us have, laughed out loud recently, and done it with people that we love? I was with some friends yesterday. Hey, my Phase 10 Divas, and we just sat around the table in fellowship last night, and we just laughed. And I mean, we laughed until our stomachs hurt. And we do that, once a month we get together and have a beautiful time together and share stories and dinner, and, speak about the Lord and our family. And, it's just so sweet. And I laughed so hard last night. I've been able to accomplish doing a 5K, my first 5K of the year. So it's actually one of my annual ones that I love doing every year out at Daytona Beach. And I did it this year. I usually do it by myself. This was my 5th year doing it. But this year I went with 2 beautiful ladies from my church, that I absolutely love. And we had such a wonderful time. And we did that together in the cold on the beach. But it was a beautiful scenery, going out when the sun is setting and then coming back as the moon is coming up, and then seeing all the stars. What a beautiful thing. When we renew our mind, it also opens the door for us to dream. How many of us have had dreams and we have forgotten about our dreams, or life has happened and we have not, we haven't accomplished what we want to accomplish with the things that God has given us in the dream, just some things you want to do, some things that you're inspired to do. And when you get renewed, you get a new sense of dreaming. And dreaming is so good for us. Dreaming is the beginning of so many things, So I just want to see people, for my listeners and for those who are watching, to start to dream again. What stopped you from dreaming? What's gotten in your way? I just, recently I have been thinking about things that I never thought about, thinking about, maybe taking a new class, doing something different that I've never done, maybe a sewing class, I don't know. Starting a new business, I'm thinking about starting a new business this year, and being an entrepreneur. I know there can be a lot of fear in that, but I've been dreaming, because my mind is renewed, my heart is open. And so, in that I have a lot of faith. I want to talk about Mary Magdalene as we talk about renewing. And I was thinking about her today as I was putting these little notes together for you all, to start the new year off. And Mary Magdalene was a woman who was possessed with 7 demons, crazy, speak about someone who needs to be renewed, and, you hear her story, how it started out, Jesus was at a dinner and this woman comes in and she's broken, she's tired. She's tired of doing the same thing. She's tired of being judged. She's tired of being, beating herself down. She's tired of doing what she's doing. 7 demons. I mean, so many of us carry so much weight of so many things. I don't know. But she made it to the feet of Jesus, which is incredible. That's how desperate she was. And that will cause us to want to get renewed too. I think that in some of my most broken moments, that was when God showed up so bright in the darkest of time. And that's what Mary was. But she found her way to his feet. And literally, she wept to the point where she was able to wash his feet. I mean, how, when we think about that, how, much tears were coming out, that she had enough to wash the feet of Jesus. And, when we decide to make a change, there's always this little roadblock to stop us. I'm sleepy. I don't want to do it. I don't want to exercise. I don't want to be around anybody. I'm not in the mood, And so to push through that, sometimes it does take a pushing through that. It takes a knocking down of things. It takes a humbling. It takes a repentant spirit, and heart. And Mary decided, I don't care who sees me. I don't care that I'm going to be embarrassed. I don't care who's going to judge me. I am going to do this anyway. And that's exactly what happened as she was there washing Jesus's feet with her tears. Not with a basin of water, not with a jug of water. They were, that's what she had at that moment. And she decided to pour it out on Jesus. She decided to take an expensive jar of perfume, or, as the Bible may say, an ointment to anoint Jesus. And immediately she was judged. But isn't God great? Jesus came to her defense. He came to her defense. And I feel like sometimes, I don't know who's listening to this right now, but sometimes your tears can get you to a place of being restored and renewed. When you think about, I know that I've had times where I've cried myself to sleep, but I've woken up refreshed. The Bible says tears may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. And so, I just want to encourage those this year who are looking to get renewed, just get to a place where, that's all you have. Maybe that's all you have is your tears. Sometimes, to get renewed, it takes a real good cleansing. Cleansing can come in the form of tears. It can come in the form of crying, and crying out. That sounds like Mary Magdalene. That was a renewing. Mary's name and story is etched in the Bible. It's incredible. She was renewed. She had a hunger for the word. We know that. She sat at Jesus' feet on many occasions after that. She funded the ministry of Jesus. She stayed with him through the crucifixion. And she's famously known for being the first person to see Christ when he resurrected. Just incredible. How many things can come our way when we get a renewed mind, a renewed heart, and a renewed spirit. I just want to leave you with a few nuggets to help you move forward, renewing yourself. Number one, God. I can't do anything without him. I cannot do anything without God. I love how even when I'm in my place of hurt and pain and darkness, it's not a loud voice for me. It's just his presence. It's, maybe it is a word, but it's his presence for me. It's his presence for me that pushed me forward. When I was getting really tired, really sluggish this year. At the end of my year, I was struggling with symptoms of menopause, like overwhelming, like it was just ridiculous. I was like, no, this is not going to overtake me. And I had to make some tweaks and some changes, in my life, whether taking things out of my diet, getting out and exercising, definitely renewing my mind. And, that was something that was like one of my number one things I wanted to, for God to help me with. And he did. But it took strength. It took, renewing my mind. When we make resolutions, when we decide to go on what we call a diet, it's like, do we pray? Do we pray? Do we ask God to be in that? We want him to be in everything. Ask him, be in this, be here with me, Lord, with this eating. Be here with me, Lord, with these symptoms. Be here with me, Lord, to help me to get rid of this disease. There's so many things that he can help you with, that he wants you to ask him. He wants you to ask him, Before, I know that when I was thinking about making some changes recently, as I was thinking it, he was performing it. He was doing it. He was helping me to make the changes. I've been seeing a nutritionist. I've been, preparing my food, things that I need to be doing every single day, journaling what I'm eating, making positive changes. And, what am I reading during the day? What am I watching on television? What am I letting go into me that is stopping me from getting to where I need to be? Because guess what, women of God, when you get to where you need to be, you're going to pull so many people along the way with you. You're going to be so strong to be able to help somebody else, to pull somebody else up. It's not about me. I know that, and that's what it is. If I'm not good, those around me who I can bless won't get that. They won't get the best of me. And I want all of you listening, I want all of you watching to get the best of me. If I'm a friend, I'm a friend. If I'm a sister, I'm a sister. If I'm a hard worker, I'm a hard worker. I want you to get the best of me. And with that, we have to stay strengthened. Like I said, number one, just a little nugget for renewing yourself. Number one is going to be God. And I would say this one, and this one right here, I think it'll speak volumes, because in this generation right now, this right here has been, I can say in some communities, we don't believe in this, but therapy. Don't be embarrassed to seek someone to talk to. All right? Do not be embarrassed. Go and talk to somebody. If you're not comfortable talking to, your family or your friends, talk to a therapist. There's nothing wrong with it. I think therapists are amazing. I've had an amazing therapist that I've worked with, and she was like a coach to me, more than anything. Like, she coached me through, we set goals. She helped me to, think about things that I didn't think about things that I was pressuring myself on, or that I wasn't being positive about. I had so much good things come out of therapy for me. So I just want to encourage those who are out there, make that a part of maybe your renewing. Because sometimes, yes, the word of God is so amazing. It can do so many things in our life. But sometimes we have to do the work ourselves right here in front of us, okay? Right here in front of us. Healthy circle of mature friends. Okay, I want to say that again. Healthy circle of mature friends. When I went to the networking event, the women were sharing, just some different things that, either the Lord had given them, or that, just a word or something that God had given them, for the 2024, for the year of 2024. Just, some positive affirmations for those of us who were listening. And I know that one person shared, just getting toxic people out of your life and negativity, because that can be a real stress and strain. And it's not easy to do that. So let me take that. It's not easy to do that, okay? But there's ways that you can pray through that, and you can pray for that person or pray for those people, but definitely get some positive people around you. I have been here, let's see here, this is my 11th year, this coming February. I can't believe it. I moved here in 2013, and it's been a struggle for me in a sense where I have such a strong connection with my friends from where I came from. And so, it wasn't hard for me to make the connections. I just wasn't making myself available to make the connections. And now that I've opened myself up and I'm like, okay, there's other people out there, I miss my friends, but you know what, I can gain some new ones. And I tell you, I have so many different sets of friends here. Like, friends that I might be out exercising with, maybe somebody who I met at the gym, my other friends who I meet on the weekend, maybe some of us go on trips together, so many different people. And, it's been a blessing because it's been so positive. And, I have so many amazing ladies who have been a real rock for me here, a real rock, because I open myself up. And, so we have to open ourselves up to positive people. And, with that, you're going to grow in that, you think that you've grown, but it's nothing like being planted around other people who are growing as well, and you're growing together. Okay. So definitely find people who you can have a common bond with. I will tell you that there's going to be seasons. Now, having friends doesn't take away God, because yes, God is an ever-present help for us. But, as humans, we do want somebody who's right there with us, right? We want somebody who we can cry with, who we might be able to share with, who we can hug. And so that's what I just wanted to say on that. Self-care, making sure that you're taking care of yourself, taking time for yourself, don't overwork yourself, okay? I know that for us, we get in our own way where we want to control so many things, and we won't let God do it. And that's what I was doing, and so I was just overworking myself, and I'm like, I wasn't making time to just have fun, just time to have fun, just time to be at peace, just thinking about tomorrow. God provided manna every day for his children. Every day he provided the manna. He told them, no, don't store up. Let me continue to provide for you. And that's one of my weaknesses, is just wanting to control the tomorrow. And, I had to let that go and work on self-care. And, I love self-care. I love going for massages. I love going for pedicures and manicures. I love just being home by myself, just quiet time, taking myself out to lunch maybe. I love that. So, make sure that you're taking care of yourself. Get a change of scenery. Sometimes we need to do that. Change of scenery could mean driving 2 hours from here. It could mean that you have the ability to take a flight somewhere. So get a change of scenery, and that can definitely be a great help with you renewing your mind and your spirit. Try to get some restful sleep, not just sleep for 2 hours, women. We need to get real rest. I am feeling so much better Now that I've started exercising again, I love exercising and walking. I've always done that, but just putting in more of that, during the week. And I've seen myself sleeping better. Now that I'm eating better, I feel, symptoms of things that have totally gone from my body because I decided to make those positive changes. Reading. I went to the library last week. Now I can read a book online. I have a whole slew of books in my library here at my home, but I decided to go to the library, just look around at some books and to check a book out, something different, I decided to do that. Prayer, make some more time for prayer, sing, listen to something positive. I wanted to leave you with this as well, for your renewing. Ask the Lord to guard and direct your mind. Recognize the source of self-focused and self-defeating thoughts. And that's one of our number one enemies is us, is this. So if we don't renew that, and that's all we're doing is having negative thoughts, then it's going to affect us in our health. It's going to affect us in our daily life. So that's an area that, we need to work on. Speak out loud, do affirmations, say positive things to yourself. Look in the mirror and call yourself beautiful. Replace self-focused thinking with a God-focused mindset. With a God-focused mindset. Let him direct your thoughts. Give him your thoughts. Give him your heart. If it's a negative thought, God, I don't want this thought. I want to cast this out. You have to start speaking it out loud. And the last one is rest in the truth in Jesus Christ. I wanted to say this to you all in closing. We aren't built with a long-term energy storage. We aren't built with a long-term energy storage. How many of us as women feel like we have this unending ability to have all this energy all the time? I'm going to raise my hand, but I'm going to tell you that it's false. It's false because you're going to hit a wall. You are going to hit a wall. You are going to hit a wall. All right? So just know that God didn't create us for that way. He created us to have, we have to go back to him to get renewed. So in that battery is going to start running out, and you've got to go back to the source. You've got to go back to the source. You've got to go back and get renewed. You've got to go back and get refreshed. You've got to go back. If you have vacation time, take vacation. If you have a timeshare, go and enjoy it. If you have kids, don't work yourself to death. Enjoy them in that moment. Enjoy your family. Enjoy your friends. Take time for them too. Every excuse can come up when you don't want to leave the house. I'm tired. I worked all week. Yeah, you did work all week. But why don't you go someplace and get refreshed and get restored and get renewed? We are made with a constant need for daily renewal and recharging. That's how we're made. That's how God made us. We're not perfect. And God knows that we're human. And so, our human bodies have to be renewed and restored. Our minds have to be renewed and restored. I just want to encourage you in that. Don't think that you're this unending energy bank. Don't think that I can run here, I can run there, I can go here, I can go there. At some point, it's going to catch up with you, and you're going to have to get renewed and restored, and you got to go back to the source. And God is he's an unending energy. He is, the beginning and the end, the Alpha and the Omega. He's the only one who has that ability. I want to leave you with Psalms 51:10-12. Create in me a pure heart, O God, and renew a steadfast spirit within me. Do not cast me from your presence or take your Holy Spirit from me. Restore to me the joy of your salvation and grant me a willing spirit to sustain me. Oh my God, I thank you, Lord, for sustaining me, for sustaining those who are listening, for sustaining those who are watching. I thank God for renewing us daily. I wanted to give a shout out to my sister, my older sister. Her name is Caprice. Her birthday was just this week. And I want to wish her a happy, happy, happy birthday and just many more. For those who are watching, thank you for tuning in. If you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe. If you are listening on Apple Podcasts, we want you to subscribe as well and share with your friends. Like, subscribe, share. All of my platforms I'll post at the bottom of this video. Also on our podcast online, on all the directories, Apple and Spotify, you'll also see my where you can find me on Facebook, on IG, and also on Twitter, and I'm also on TikTok. So you will have all of that right at the bottom of this video. So until next time, just happy renew year. Be renewed, be restored, be recharged, women of God. And until next time, you be blessed from Art of Grace. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, Apple, Spotify, and other podcast directories. Until next time.